Top 5 mistakes to avoid when starting your fitness journey. Number 1, expecting results within 2 weeks, 1 week. It's gonna take at least 6 to 12 weeks to actually see progress in your own body, in your day-to-day tasks, and then your coworkers, your friends, then they'll start noticing. So it's not something you'll see initially. At first, people will start noticing, and then once you see yourself in the mirror, that's always a hard thing, is because you see yourself in the mirror every morning, every evening before you go to bed. So you're always paying attention to the small things, whereas somebody from afar who sees you once every weekend is gonna notice the big changes. So as long as you're consistent and going through with the process, within, I feel like 3 months is a better timeline to see results. So give yourself that 3-month time period, and then if you're still not seeing results, then there has to be a change made. Number 2 is lifting too heavy. So this is only going to help your ego. If you're lifting too heavy, you're not going to be contracting the correct muscle groups. So for compound movements, that's maybe not the biggest issue. You can lift heavy, but as long as your torso is in line, your spine is neutral, your knees aren't caving in or out, then you're fine. But if you record yourself and you see your form, your knees are caving out or your back is rounding, then that's when you need to adjust. But also on isolation moves, so like a lat pull down, keeping your spine more upright and not leaning back, trying to pull as much weight as you can. Rather, I'd prefer you kind of focus on getting that connection with your lats and your upper back rather than trying to pull as much weight as you possibly can. This will aid in accelerating your results, making it easy to see, okay, my lats are more defined, I'm getting a wider frame rather than pulling too much weight and not seeing much of a difference. And that kind of goes into number 3, so not focusing on your form. So having the right guidelines to help you through, okay, this is where I need to work on keeping my back straight, or whatever the case may be for any exercise. The more, you can't focus too much on form, but enough to where you get it down and you're able to repeat a set for 8 to 12 reps. If you're just going willy-nilly, you're not going to get that consistent contraction with your muscles, and therefore you're not going to see results. You're going to be putting in all this work and then you're going to get nothing from it besides boosting your ego. Now to number 4, this is more nutrition wise. I understand that tracking your calories is important, but I'd say something that is head and heels above caloric intake is your protein intake. A lot of people don't understand how many grams of protein you're supposed to be eating per day. There's a lot of metrics, 1 gram per pound of body weight, 1 gram per pound of lean body mass, 1.2 grams per kilogram. This can be easily found. If you get your body metrics, you can calculate it through a total daily energy expenditure calculator. You'll be able to see how many grams of protein you should be eating, and this will shock a lot of people because they're not eating enough protein to keep lean muscle on and reduce their fat in the body. And then last one, number 5, is just consistency. Kind of goes along with expecting quick results, like my first point. Just staying consistent, keeping yourself accountable. If you need a coach, then that definitely helps with accountability. But just learning to enjoy the process, learning to get excited when you make it past barriers, when you hit PRs, or when your metrics change. So keeping track of your weight and trying to understand, okay, this is what I did this month, this is the results. As long as you're noticing change, That'll help with consistency, that'll help with motivation, that'll help with discipline. If you're having trouble with accountability and consistency, I provide online coaching. I've been personal training hundreds of clients over a year. I'm looking to grow my business, look for new potential clients to help everybody reach their body transformation goals and get to where they want to be in terms of when they see themselves in the mirror, but along with how they function on a day-to-day basis in terms of having adequate mobility, flexibility, balance, and core strength. So there's a lot more than just what you see in the mirror, but it's how your daily tasks are affected by your strength, your stamina. So those are the top 5 mistakes one can make. I've made a few of them. I've went overboard on deadlift and rounded my back, but that was years ago, and I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm helping my clients not make those mistakes so they can make that transition process to their most aesthetic and most functional body possible. Thank y'all.